Welcome to the Clone Wars Island Arena, a massive battle royale ground with every clone trooper legion battling it out. Commander Bly is leading the 327th Star Corps. Captain Keller is leading the 442nd Siege Battalion. Commander Doom is leading his Doom Legion. ARC Trooper Echo is going to be leading the Camino Security Legion. Commander Wolf is going to be leading his 104th Wolfpack Battalion. Commander Neo is leading the 91st Reconnaissance Battalion. Captain Rex is of course going to be leading his 501st Clone Trooper Legion. Commander Fox is leading the 65th Coruscant Guard. Captain Tethos is going to be leading the 187th Legion. And last but not least, Commander Cody is leading the 7th Sky Corps. Comment down below which of these clone trooper legions do you think will win the battle royale and claim victory as thousands of clones battle over this small hill. And huge thank you to Rollum for making this map for the channel. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now be sure to like, subscribe, and let's get into this arena battle. Real quick, huge thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. They have literally the best deals in gaming. I use it all the time. If you like Star Wars games, Lego Star Wars for $2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 for $9. One of my favorite Star Wars games, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, $1.70. If you want to play the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, Men of War Assault Squad 2, $3. Extremely popular games can be up to 99% off. Link in the description below. Thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, let's get right on into this thing. We're gonna have to start in slow-mo because there's like 2,000 clones on the battlefield. Each clone legion does have 2 recon units made up of 6 men apiece, one to the right and one to the left of their selective bridges, just to get the battle kick-started a little bit sooner and get these guys moving forward. So, why don't we go ahead and press start right here and witness the greatness that is the ultimate Star Wars battle royale here. This map, every single time we have run a test on it, has resulted in a different winning legion. So, really, any of these legions could potentially take the W. Has to do with their strategy, has to do with their willingness to make gutsy plays, or their willingness to stay in the back and not completely deplete their forces right off rip. So, you know, it's gonna take a lot of strategy in order to get the W here. Right off the rip, we do have a large quantity of losses from all different sides as their recon units end up getting absolutely destroyed. It really shouldn't have too major of an impact on the battle since each recon team is only made up of 6 soldiers and each actual legion has hundreds of soldiers within it. So, you know, the recon team dying, while it does make a small impact on the battle, it is pretty minuscule compared to just about everything else that will be involved in this battle. Now we've actually got island crossfire going on. So over this way, we've got the Camino security forces going up against the Wolfpack. So the 2 gray factions here fighting it out. Echo is currently leading the Camino security forces because of the fact that the Havoc Squad is not in the game, and I believe Havoc Squad with like ARC Trooper Blitz and oh god, I can't remember the other ones. Havoc, I think, is one of them. I don't remember right now, but I believe they are the Clone Trooper ARC Troopers that are in charge of the Clone Trooper Camino facility guards, and Shakti, of course, is the Jedi in charge of them as well. But in lieu of having them, I thought having Echo as their lead would be pretty cool. And we've got Commander Wolf, of course, over here for the Wolfpack Battalion, the 104th, and Commander Wolf is right there on the front lines firing away. So these two sides are skirmishing quite a bit. Over this way, Doom Legion is getting heavily onto the bridge right now, and getting some good fire out against Captain Keller's troopers over here. with the 442nd Siege Battalion. Normally Captain Keller is with the Galactic Marines, however we don't have them in this battle, so I figured we'd use the 442nd over here. Over this way we've got the 327th, who are completely distracted by Keller's troopers over here, and so they're not actually partaking in the battle currently. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, the 7th Sky Corps is kind of doing the exact same thing with the 65th Coruscant Guard over here, but the 65th is actually taking aim at them and firing a little bit. There's Commander Cody right there, my favorite clone trooper commander. Maybe he'll get a W here, you never know. But the 187th over this way under the command of Captain Tithos is taking the bait of the 7th Sky Corps over that way, and the bait of these fellas over here. Is this Commander Fox in the 65th? Yes, it is. So the 187th is splitting themselves up between two different island fights right now, which is probably the worst thing you can do. Honestly, in these arena battles we've done, usually the best thing you can do is just chill, wait it out, and let people kill each other while you hang out in the back. The worst thing you could do is split yourself up between multiple other clone trooper legions. So this is definitely a folly on the 187th's part over here. The 501st, on the other hand, under Captain Rex, is just kind of chilling over this way. They're getting a little bit of fire from the 65th over here, but barely any of the 65th is paying attention to them, and they are not paying attention to the 91st over here, who are actually the first to mount the island itself. They got tired of waiting around in the back, so they're going to be pushing on forward here. That's their dead recon squad right there, who ended up losing to the Wolfpack recon squad, but there's still one Wolfpack recon trooper over here, and then the other recon squad over here is very much so still alive, while the rest of the Wolfpack is currently still spraying fire out this way at the Camino security. There's Echo right there, having a very, very bad time. He is under extremely heavy fire. Now, every single one of these hero units does have hero health, so they've got about 500 health. Meanwhile, all of the standard clone troopers have 100 health, so Echo can withstand a little bit more of the firepower from the enemy that his troopers could not withstand, but it's not going to make too much of a difference, I don't think. Either way, I do want to give another shout out to Rollum for making this map for the channel. It should be released on the Steam Workshop sometime later this week, or even maybe tomorrow or later tonight if Rollum gets around to it. I commissioned this map, so basically he gives me first dibs on making videos of it, and then he can release it to the Steam Workshop publicly afterwards, since I paid for the commission. But he's an awesome dude. He still makes a ton of maps for the community, and then all of the maps I commission him for are for the community at the end of the day as well. Huge shout out to Rollum. I also saw that Darth Bacon sent me one of his new maps that is already released. I'm really excited to check that one out as well. A little Galactic Civil War action from Darth Bacon, who is a GOAT of the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod community on the Steam Workshop, so I'm very excited to check that out as well. Either way, just constant fire right now from the different islands. The only ones who are actually off their island seem to be the 91st. Everyone else is either still on the bridge or just fighting on the islands themselves. Heavy losses kind of for everyone. In fact, Captain Tithos has gone down over here. That's the first leader death, I believe, on the battlefield, so that is pretty crazy. Now, we're only getting about 8 FPS, and this is going to be a long battle, I do believe. So, you know, let's do some time-lapsing right off rip here. That way the very low FPS won't be too horrible to watch. Let's watch bird's eye view of these guys over here, Commander Wolf's troopers, fighting against Camino security while the 91st comes in their flank over this way. This could be a dramatic engagement right now as these guys on the left come in and flank the guys on the right while they're fighting the Camino security. Could be very interesting. Let's watch. Alright guys, 3 minutes have gone by and the 91st flank is coming to fruition here. They defeated the last of the recon troops over there, while the Wolfpack got caught by surprise and has lost a considerable number of their troopers that were closer to the bridge over this way. Now there are still a portion of 91st troops hanging out in the back over here, so not all of them are forward right now. They're leaving some behind, but a good amount, enough to get some serious kills, and that's going to alleviate the Camino security now that the Wolfpack is split between these two. Let's go check on the other troops on the battlefield. So over here, Doom Legion, they're still not really on the island yet over here, just their recon team was. They were fighting the 442nd Siege Battalion, the two green boys, and they're still kind of skirmishing. Not as heavy of losses over here for either side. Then over this way, the 327th is also fighting some of the 442nd over here on the bridges. Is someone in the water? Oh yeah. Wait, Commander Bly is literally in the water. He just died in the water. What? Okay, we have another hero death. I don't know how he ended up in the water, but he is dead now. That is confirmed. Over this way, the 7th Sky Corps is still kind of chilling. It looks like a few of them actually went to shore over here, ended up getting killed by the 187th over this way, who are also getting shot out from the 65th over here, Commander Fox's boys, and there is Commander Fox right there as well. So, currently on the Battle Royale plane, it's too early to see, you know, who is winning in any regard, and we're back to the 91st over this way. Yeah, way too early to see who is winning in the slightest. I just have no idea right now. But what we do know is that there is still quite the slaughter going on. Let's go and watch the 187th fighting the 65th over here, because it looks like they might actually get onto the island soon. That could be interesting to see. Alright boys, another 5 minutes have gone by. The 187th is mostly quiet now over here. Looks like they've had actually a number of losses over this way, and they were also fighting over here. They took some losses over here as well. The 7th Sky Corps is still chilling over there, and on their own bridge over this way. So I think the 187th is losing to the 7th Sky Corps, but then they are dominating the 65th Coruscant Guard here. Look at all the losses the 65th took over this way. Fox is still alive. No, he just died. Wow, okay. The Daily Curse strikes again, with Fox dying just like that. Rip the dream. These guys, neither side really on the island at all. Neither is the 7th Sky Corps. Over here, the 327th is fully fixating on these guys over that way, and they actually do have troopers on the island, though just emerging, and that's going to be the 442nd over here, who also have pushed into the island, taking over some of this cover. So, you know, despite having to kind of expose yourself a bit more if you do go onto the island, you simultaneously get first dibs on all of the cover that's going to be on your side of the island. So these guys have a really nice rock wall here to help them out and just free fire into the Doom Legion over this way, who are still just stuck on their bridge, and they are taking extreme fire right now from the 442nd over there. And if they had pushed out, maybe they would be utilizing some of this cover over here. I mean, each side has a ton of cover. Our boy Rollum made sure to give plenty of cover equally to all of the different clone trooper legions, so that way no one is just completely boned on this battlefield. And you know, these guys are missing out on that cover because the 442nd was braver than them. Now over here, Camino Security is still not on the battlefield over this way. I do see Echo has died over here, but his soldiers fight on, and the Wolf Pack might be the first to fully get out of this battle, because there are not many of them left. The ones that are left are all ducking behind cover right now as the 91st flanks them, and over this way the Camino Security spams fire at them. So I think the Wolfpack is going to be gone pretty soon. That flank was genius by the 91st, and they still have a ton of troopers back here as well. They are being very smart right now. The 501st not doing anything. Why does that always happen? It's always like the 501st on these battles who never fights very hard at the start and then comes in and sweeps. Happens almost every time we do an arena battle. It's crazy. And meanwhile, in the show, the 501st is like usually pretty hyper aggressive with their tactics. So, I don't know. 65th over here, still, you know, engaging with the 187th, but it does look like the 187th is probably winning against them currently. I would say still the most exciting part of this battle going on is going to be the Wolfpack over here, but still Doom Legion getting far more involved over this way is quite interesting as well. So why don't we go ahead and watch these guys engaging with the Doom Legion, the 442nd defending behind these columns now. Okay, the 442nd pushing up very aggressively now, putting the nail in the coffin of a lot of these Doom Legion members. There's only like 4 over there. There's Commander Doom dead on the battlefield. Is there anyone else? I think that's it. I think there's 4 Doom Legion members remaining after the 442nd completely curb stomped him right there. Meanwhile, over this way, Camino Security pushing outwards now after the Wolfpack is almost completely destroyed. There's actually one guy there. There might be another 1 or 2 around here somewhere. I just do not see them right now. Over this way, the 91st is still coming through the flank that way, but then we additionally have a few soldiers over here also engaging with the Camino Security over that way. Very nice. So all the 91st seems to be migrating that way. Meanwhile, over here, the 501st finally actually getting involved in the battle against the 65th over here. So the 65th must be donezo with the 187th. No, they're not. The 187th is still alive over here. They've taken some losses over this way and over this way, but the 65th seems more bent on attacking the 501st currently over here. That seems to be where their priorities are currently lying. Over this way, the 7th Sky Corps, looks like that might just be their recon unit, so they're mostly still on their island and over here. No one's really left the island for them, and the 327th is just completely against the bridge. They've totally spread out on the bridge there and are attacking some of the remaining 442nd while the others continue to try and put the nail in the coffin of the last Doom Legion trooper right there. I think that's it for the Doom Legion. So, and there we go. The first Legion to actually lose is the Doom Legion. I think the Wolfpack is probably going to be next. But, I mean, as long as you have 1 trooper on the battlefield, you can technically win, although it's going to be tough. Yeah, the Wolfpack, they've got 1 trooper there. And 1 trooper there. So they've got 2 soldiers. No, there's a 3rd. They've got a few troops. They're still in the game, but not really. 91st over here engaging with the Camino Security. While we watch this over here for now, as they come off their bridge and the 91st are over that way. Doom Legion is gone. Will the Wolfpack be next? Okay, 7 minutes have gone by, and I've noticed fire coming in from over here. And yes, it does look as though the 442nd is coming in slightly and terrorizing the Camino Security a bit more, while the 91st over here is continuing to also terrorize them. So both sides kind of coming inbound and messing with the Camino Security, so they're caught between a rock and a hard place, and that never goes very well, to say the very least. Then over here, more 442nd troopers are fighting the 327th, who were previously all facing them, I think, and now they're facing these guys over here, the 7th Sky Corps, who are on the island finally, and engaging from the island itself, although not super well. They're not doing nearly as well as the 91st did, and they're also fighting the 187th over here, who are still kind of just chilling at the moment, I will say. Oh, hiccup. The 65th Coruscant Guard coming onto the island now, just about. No one's on this island anymore. That's the 501st. Oh, the 501st, dude. They are full force going through here. We might actually be able to go into normal speed now. Look at this play by the 501st. They waited, they laid in wait, and now they are full blitzkrieging the middle of the island. Where, by the way, no one's up here. They're just taking the high ground like absolute gigachads. They learned from Anakin's mistake, apparently. Although, I have to say, this is going to split their force up badly. This could be really bad for them, actually. If they all stay balled up there and just assume a defensive position, the battle could just be theirs. But if they start splintering, which is happening right now, some are going down here, some are going down this way. If they splinter off and try and take on every single clone legion throughout this battlefield, they're going to get cooked so quickly. They are engaging right now in the woods with, I think, the 442nd? No, the 91st. Okay, so the 91st over here is now caught in the woods with them. The wolf pack over here still has a couple troops alive. That's crazy. More 91st over here, more over here dead. That was their starting zone, I think. So the other enemy would be the Camino security over here, which also is seemingly pretty dead. There might be a soldier or two in here, but they're mostly gone. And then over here we got the 442nd also firing away a tidbit. So the 91st is getting completely collapsed. They were doing so well up until this point, and now the 501st completely flanks them and is taking them by storm. Of course, the 501st is taking some heavy losses in this as well, so, you know, they'll be taken down a notch, but this is still only half of their force. We've still got, yep, troopers over this way, so we have quite a number of 501st also engaging down here against the 7th Sky Corps. Cody versus Rex currently. This is probably one of the worst fights the 501st can take on, although they're not getting shot at all, so they're just getting free fire right now. But these guys are much more put together than the 91st, I would say, and there's also the 327th over here, too. So the 501st coming down here, very ballsy. None are really on top of the mountain anymore from what I can see. They've split up between those two areas. No one went down here, though. That's probably a good idea. Just chill now. Don't open up a third front for your men, but the 501st are being uber aggressive right now. It might be too early for them to be this aggressive. There's still huge armies out there just sort of camping, and that's what the 501st was doing, which makes this so effective, as they have so many troopers right now. But simultaneously, the fact that the enemy is you know, weaker over here, if they try and do the same thing like over here, they're going to be in for a nastier surprise. A more condensed enemy is not going to work with that. The 327th over here is getting some crazy shots in against the 7th Sky Corps over here, and the 501st on the other side is still firing away at them as well. So this crossfire is making a triangle of fire this way, but then we've also got the 187th over here fighting against some 65th Coruscant Guard troopers, which most of them are still on the island over that way, but a number have gone onto the actual big boy island here. Let's go ahead and watch the overhead here of the 501st on the mountain, 7th Sky Corps here, and the who are these guys? 327th down there. All right, let's watch it. Okay, 6 minutes have gone by here, and the 7th Sky Corps is dwindling. Dwindling big time, with the 187th over here, as well as the 327th over here. They're just having a bad time. Now, the 501st up this way has started to take some extreme losses. Finally, they've gotten their comeuppance for that sneaky attack there. They came down the mountain with gusto, and finally, these guys kind of turned their attention to them. They do have good cover, but a bunch of them were just kind of out in the open here, so that did not go well. All right, let's check out the other side of things. Right now, the rest of the 501st looks like they cleared out the Camino security. So Camino security is for sure done, and now they're just waltzing back to the peak of the island. That is kind of badass, I can't even lie. Doom Legion over here, super duper dead. Doom is gone, rip. How about, oh, Wolfpack. 2 troopers. Incredible. Only 2. It's not a lot to work with. But they could still technically win with 2 soldiers. I can't lie. 91st were over here. They've gone all over the place since then. I honestly... yeah, I don't know if there are more of them. There were some shots going over here. I just don't see where the clones were. Here's the 65th. They're still alive, technically. And the 187th across from them over here. Are there any 91st Ricos over here? somewhere. They did travel pretty far, so maybe they're elsewhere. They might just be dead. Honestly, hard to tell. 501st still engaging over there. Yeah, the 91st might be dead. They were very aggressive at the start of the battle, the most aggressive. It did pay off. But now they might be gonzo for good. I think the 442nd might also be dead. There's Keller's body right there. It does seem like the 501st is still like primed to potentially win this, but there are still other legions who could potentially do some good stuff. The 7th Sky Corps over here looks like they are about to die. There's not many of them remaining right now, and the 187th is shooting them in the side, so let's watch this. Okay, so the 187th is now on land, and the 7th Sky Corps over here is almost completely dead. We've still got a few of these 501st troopers over here, just not many of them, and the 327th is dealing with some of them over that way. 442nd over here actually does still have a few troops left alive, still combating the enemy. What's going on over here? Oh, the 501st came down this hill, took extreme losses. The Wolf Pack! Yo, wait, hold on. The Wolfpack do that? No way. No way. Hold on. Let's see. How many kills do you guys have? 1 and 0. So no, it was not the Wolfpack who did all that damage right there. No siree, Bob. But the 501st did get wiped over this way pretty bad. Now they just have a couple troops. How about up here on the mountain? Okay, the rest of the 501st is on top of the mountain, coming down this way and attacking. So that's crazy. They are still in this thing. So the 327th is going to have to deal with more 501st coming on down the mountain here and attacking them. Why don't we... Oh, Captain Rex is at the peak. Yes, let's go, Rex. That's dope. And then the 187th is still down here, and we do still have some 7th Sky Corps over here. So most of the action is now over this way. If the Wolfpack just, like, chills, you know, they eliminate the last couple of 501st troopers over here, and then just chills where they are, they could be in a prime location to just flank and kill the last few remaining troopers, but they need to chill. They need to chill. Let's watch the 501st coming down the mountain and fighting. Within a couple minutes, the 501st has moved fully down the mountain here and are now directly engaging with the 327th, which I actually think the 327th is helped out by that fact. 442nd over here, though, also still engaging. They could be a sneaky sleeper agent right now and potentially get a W. 7th Sky Corps, still alive over here. There's a few 187th over this way, there's some 65th over here, but these are kind of dwindled legions. It's mainly 501st, 327th, and 442nd from what I can tell that actually have a real chance of potentially getting the W. The 501st has played well up until this point, and now I'm worried about them. They could be taking the L fairly soon, but you never know. You know, they could just manage to stay intact and continue the fight. Let's watch the 327th over here for the ground a bit. And the 327th takes massive losses. They've still got some troopers back here, but their island boys are dead now. The 501st up this way continuing to take losses as well, as the 442nd seems to be the sleeper agent that we were witnessing earlier. That's rather impressive. There's also a large group back here, and that's the 65th, and they're going to be joining the battle soon, but likely taking on the 7th Sky Corps over there is my best guess. So if you look at the main map, there's kind of three major factions. These guys here, which these are the 327th, these are the 442nd, these are the 501st, and these are the 65th, with the 7th Sky Corps being somewhat smaller. And then way back here, a couple more 65th troopers. Down here is either going to be a Wolfpack trooper or a 501st trooper, if I can find him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. It is Wolfpack. Two Wolfpack troopers over there. And then down here, actually, is he in the water? Oh yeah, there's a 501st trooper just in the water there. I'll leave him there for now. So, you know, there's still a lot going on. think the 442nd have a really nice area over here, but then the 65th flank could be deadly. Let's watch the 7th Sky Corps respond to the 65th flank. So the 65th are coming in from over here, and there we go, actually. They already start to fire at one another, and the 501st over here, behind a downed LAAT, taking heat. They are responding with fire of their own, but they're probably all pretty damaged from the constant fighting they've been doing recently. So this is crazy. This is absolutely bonkers. Let's watch the 7th Sky Corps over here. Okay, 7th Sky Corps making moves out of the island as the 65th has pushed out this way. The 442nd is dealing with them. And then down in the water here, we have some 327th troopers. But the 501st has been kicked off the top peak there. There's apparently troopers somewhere around here. That might be the 501st. Where are these guys? Oh, there. No, that's still the wolf pack. So the 501st, wait. Okay, they have one trooper in the water here. Anyone in the water, I am now going to just go ahead and lift out of the water. There you go. All right. So right now it's 65th versus 442nd. 65th has a dominant number of troops. There's still some 7th Sky Corps over here, but yeah, right now the 65th are geared up to win. The 501st went from absolutely dominating to having one soldier remaining. The 65th, I was not expecting at all to reach the end here, but Fox's boys are doing big things on the battlefield, and we might be seeing them having a dominant victory overall. Let's continue watching. This has still got a ways to go. Okay, boys, this is just about the end here. 7th Sky Corps moving up. Behind them is the last of the 442nd right there. Meanwhile, the 65th has taken the high ground, and the final 501st Trooper is still way back here. All right, we're gonna, since he was a water boy, it seems like the... Okay, guys, I screwed up the recording. 1 second. I think what happened when I was trying to pick the numbers for the 501st guy, it didn't... I accidentally clicked the recording button instead, but it's fine because we're still kind of in the right area. So the 7th Sky Corps over here, 65th over here, and that 501st Trooper is coming in over this way now. He's somewhere over here, but yeah, he's being forced in, and then there's a couple people over here for... Who are these guys? That's the 327th. Okay, so the 442nd is done. Everyone else is done. It's mainly 65th versus... God dang it, I accidentally pressed the wrong button again. God, all right, 65th versus 212th. Okay, let's see. I think the 65th is just going to win this. They have the high ground, and the 7th Sky Corps is getting flanked over that way, which is rough. But you never know. Never say never. Maybe someone else manages to dominate. Perhaps the 7th Sky Corps can do this, can flip the script, but I kind of doubt it. I think the 65th is going to have this in the bag now, and there's only 2 7th Sky Corps troopers left. It really doesn't help that the 327th over here was basically working against them. I have no idea where that 501st trooper went off to either. And that was the end of the 7th. Yikes. So we have 1 327th trooper, 1 501st trooper, who is over here, and then like 8 65th troopers. So I think the 65th is going to win this thing. And it's just a matter of time. Let's go into fast speed here. We just kind of need the other units to actually start climbing the mountain. I think, yep, there's one right there. All right, we've got action. And the 327th is out. It's 1 501st Trooper versus 9 65th Troopers. Are we about to see the biggest 501st Rambo ever? I highly doubt it. I think the 65th is going to take the cake here. 501st just chilling over here. Wait, we might have engagement soon-ish. All right, let's just watch him for a while. Okay, he died. Rip my boy. So the 65th, a total sleeper legion here, ended up taking the W. This trooper has 8 kills. This one has 6. This one has 4. This one has 1. This one has 5. This one has 11. This one has 1. And this one has 3. They earned this. They went ham, dude. Holy cow. Yellow are dead 65th troopers throughout the battlefield. Red is everyone else on the battlefield who died. And they really didn't fight at all over here, but then on this hemisphere over this way, they fought here, 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 and then finally over here and up here before getting the W. Did you guys, anyone rooting for the 65th? Let me know in the comments, and if not, who was your Legion, and are you disappointed or happy about how they performed? Either way, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.